Welcome, guys. I'm glad you made it. Episode 24. It's Loper and fresh off of 4 extremely metal days at Sonic Temple. In just a couple of days, believe it or not, true believers, I'm going to be 45 years old. And at 45 years old, 4 days, some might say, is a little bit too much to be at a hard rock and metal festival. But I got to tell you, man, it was absolutely awesome. And the days fly by, and you definitely, when it's over, if you're out there all 4 days, the 5th day when you wake up, you're like, wait a second. Day 5, let's go. And no, there was nothing. There was nothing. And you have a bit of emptiness left in your soul. Well, on today's episode, we are going to recap everything. I got to give a big shout out to Danny Wemmer Presents. Danny and his crew, the absolute professionals that they are, put on the premier festival in the United States when it comes to hard rock and metal. I mean, it started on Thursday, and everyone was so pumped. This year, all I kept hearing was, it's going to be bigger than ever. When you get out there, you're not going to believe it. And I was like, listen, I've been in Columbus, and I've been going to, well, it started as Rock on the Range. I've been going to the festival, whatever you want to call it, Rock on the Range, Sonic Temple, since 2012. So when it comes to surprises, I didn't know if they could really surprise me with the setup. Guys, for those of you that were there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. From the very beginning, just getting into the front gates, the lines, not that this is a great thing, but it's a very telling thing. The lines were longer than I've ever seen them. Not only for will call, but for actually just standing in line to get into the festival. And the good crew with DWP, they did a great job at kind of getting everybody relaxed in the lines. So you didn't really see a whole lot of people losing their cool or people that were irritated that they had to wait in line, because where they moved the front gate this year, traditionally you entered into Historic Crew Stadium where you would when the actual Columbus Crew played there. So that's where you would go in for Rock on the Range and Sonic Temple since 2007, since it's been going on. Well, this year they moved the front gate, which gave a little bit more of a walk to concert goers. But hey, shout out to the bike gondola people. Got us there every day in speedy condition and saved some leg energy. I mean, if you could get on one of those things, that was the move, man, because the first day I did not ride the bike. I did not sit in the back and let the guy pump it and take me all the way up to the front gate. So by the time I got into the front gate, I was kind of like, I'm a little tired now. Can I sit down? And so, just that one little hack, and for next year, you might want to remember it. Maybe I shouldn't even be saying this. I should save this all for myself, but I love you guys too much. But that's definitely something that I thought really shaved a little bit of time, and it also allowed you to keep a little bit more energy as you were getting ready for the show. Now, this year, when you walked into the venue, you saw right away the entire area, like where there was food and merch and just kind of the commerce area, if you will. That area has expanded like almost 11-fold. It was huge. It was huge. It was backed up with the brand new VIP area, which was traditionally on the far side of the stage. And this year, it was huge. So many people were buying these VIP tickets to get in. In the VIP area was more packed than I've ever seen it as well. But I spent a lot of time in the rock royalty area. I was doing a little investigative reporting, I guess you could say, for Danny Wemmer Presents. They put me in this amazing area called rock royalty, which this blew my expectations. Didn't exceed, blew my expectations out of the water. Now, these tickets were not cheap, but if you were able to splurge and spend the extra money on the rock royalty, not only did you get a dedicated seat in the stadium, but you got access to the VIP lounge, and where the old VIP lounge was where they set up this rock royalty area. So, right when you walk in, listen, Lopi is a little bougie, okay? I like nice things. And this was the epitome of nice things. It's like you walked into the Four Seasons of rock and roll. As soon as you walk in the doors, you walk in and you get a resort feel. There was a friggin' concierge sitting there that would help you and take care of any need that you had. I was greeted with this awesome gift bag. I had a Sonic Temple bag that was actually in a clear bag. I got this hat, a bandana, a Sonic Temple Yeti, and a bunch of other swag that was in there. That was just, it was a beautiful setup and a great welcome gift for when you walked into Rock Royalty. Like I said, if you're spending that extra money, you want that extra little just sense of, okay, this is not only worth it, this is awesome. And then you walk in and you see it. They had this interactive headliner experience where all of the headliners for all 4 days had these interactive sets that you could walk onto. Like Korn, they had the album cover from Issues. They actually had a life-size version of the doll, that beat-up, scroungy-looking doll that's on the cover of Korn's Issues. Yeah, they actually had that sitting in this area, and I'm going to put up a couple of pictures just for reference here. And this was so cool for photo opportunities. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. The Linkin Park interactive headliner experiences area was so cool. And the cool thing about the LP was it changed. They had different setups for Linkin Park. The actual night that they played on Saturday, their setup was totally different. They had an experience where you could see old guitars, microphones used by Chester, the turntables that the DJ uses in Linkin Park. Really cool stuff. And you could take a picture with all of this. And the lighting inside of these interactive sets was amazing. The guy who built them, I mean, really outdid himself. You wander over to the Metallica area, which did not open until Friday. That's when Metallica first headlined. They headlined 2 nights, Friday and Sunday. So by Friday, all of the Metallica interactive headliner experiences were open inside the Rock Royalty. And this was something else, guys. I mean, they had the full Ride the Lightning set with the cemetery. I mean, just everything that you wanted. Super cool picture opportunities. Metallica pinball. They had the 72 Seasons set up as well there with the interactive experiences where you could go in and take pictures literally with the album cover. And then you wandered over and they had these 2 really cool old school like glass cases full of Metallica memorabilia, like Blitzkrieg, handwritten lyrics. They had one of the MTV Moonmen there that they gave to James Hetfield. They had Robert Trujillo's actual Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction trophy. It was just some cool stuff that you wouldn't normally get to see, but you got to see all of this inside Rock Royalty. And like I said, it was a true rock resort experience, man. Not only was the food and merch area bigger than ever, more choices than ever, Blackened, Metallica's whiskey, actually had a full setup with a professional chef heading the operation where they had blackened burgers. Yes, Metallica had their own hamburgers at Sonic Temple this year, and it was so cool, man. I mean, you talk about just absolutely delicious. And I'm not the kind of guy eating burgers all the time, but man, these were primo. Of course, our friends at Island Noodles were in the house. What would a rock festival be without Island Noodles? And just different choices all the way around. They had lobster rolls this year. They had, what did I have? Fish and chips. Oh, these fish and chips were amazing, guys. 3 big pieces of fish lined in Old Bay, just absolutely delicious. But if you want to talk about music, some of the things that went down at Sonic Temple this year were record-breaking, were unprecedented, were super cool. So Korn hit the stage Friday night, and Friday night, everyone was friggin' freezing. I don't think anyone was really ready to carry around a jacket all day. If you were one of the lucky people, lucky enough to get a locker, I mean, good on you, but I did not. And I went out in a t-shirt and jeans. And by the time the sun went down, I was really sorry that's what I was wearing. So I headed over to the Black Craft tent and bought myself a hoodie, and then I was straight. Everything was good. And Korn hit the stage and did not disappoint. Now, I've seen Korn, I would guess over 20 times in my lifetime, luckily. But this was one of the best times that I have seen the band. And they hit the stage with a song that we haven't heard in a long time. They put Blind back into the rotation. And when they hit the stage and you heard Jonathan Davis say, "Are you ready?" Let me tell you something. Columbus, Ohio was fucking ready. And that set from start to finish was absolute fire. If there was any question whatsoever, if Korn had lost a step, if Korn was deserved to play and be a headliner still, there's no questions. come this week after an incredible weekend of rock and roll. Korn solidified themselves as absolute legends on the main stage. The mosh pits were huge, and just the crowd in general, they were so stoked to see Korn, and you could just feel the energy throughout the entire stadium. I almost said arena. I mean, the stadium, this place was packed. I mean, the floor was packed. It was the first time for the opening night that I saw like the entire stands absolutely full. They put Twisted Transistor and the song For You back in the rotation, respectively, for the first time since 2019 and 2020. So that was kind of cool. You got a couple of Korn songs, even though they've been touring, that you haven't heard in quite some time. So there was all kinds of talk throughout the weekend of a few cancellations, and unfortunately, these were not minor cancellations. Incubus canceled on Saturday night, and on Sunday, we lost Alice in Chains. And you could just feel everybody at the festival going, oh, man, what's going to happen? What are they going to do? When Incubus had to drop off, it was too late to get a replacement. But on Sunday, Danny Wimmer, being the rock and roll Superman that he is, was able to pull in Columbus's own Beartooth to hit the main stage, and these guys fucking killed it. I mean, absolutely just slayed a hometown show. You could tell that Caleb and the guys were so excited to be on stage at Sonic Temple that their emotions, their passion, their energy just showed through, and it was something that was really legendary and special. And I love Alice in Chains, but this was really something to remember. One of the cool aspects of Saturday for me was seeing I Prevail. Love that band so much. I just saw them in Nashville. They did the homecoming show with Hailstorm. Hailstorm was finishing out their tour, and they played their final show at home in Nashville. And I went out to the amphitheater there in Franklin, Tennessee, and I Prevail opened up, and they killed. Every time I've ever seen I Prevail, they absolutely bring it, and they brought it to Sonic Temple. Yeah, Saturday afternoon was so sick. And it was kind of cool because they gave a little homage to Alice in Chains by playing Man in the Box. They played System of a Down's Chop Suey and the Deftones' Shove It. It was a cool 3-song cover set that the crowd was just on fire. You could just see that people were absolutely going crazy. And when they played Hurricane, I mean, the place was just rumbling. I mean, you could just feel that stadium shaking. And I Prevail, I think right now might be the hottest rock band in the entire world. I mean, these guys, pound for pound, out of brand new rock bands, they are absolutely on fire and firing on all cylinders. And they were one of the highlights for me at Sonic Temple this year. Some of the other acts that were absolutely sick, Rob Zombie, of course, absolutely brought it. I don't know what was going on with his sound. He was having some words with his sound people during his set, but other than that, he absolutely killed it. The set list was phenomenal. Acid Bath, Quicksand, Peeling Flesh, even Jimmy Eat World in Hoobastank, who we haven't seen in a long time, and Filter, who played the second stage. Absolutely awesome. And if you were there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Insane Clown Posse polished off one of the nights, and it was cool. I hadn't seen ICP in a while, and there was Faygo everywhere. It was nuts. And people with their faces painted, the Juggalos showed out. 3-6 Mafia hit the stage late after Metallica, and they even absolutely killed it. It was a lot of fun. And if you weren't there, I mean, you really missed out on 2 performances that were late additions to the Sonic Temple lineup, but were absolutely clutch. So one of the big questions that people are asking me is, hey, so Linkin Park, what's going on? We've heard that they've had some negative reviews here in the last few weeks. We've even heard some rumblings of them changing venues here recently, and due to ticket sales that weren't so great. But I have to tell you, Linkin Park hit the stage with their new singer, Emily, and she was awesome. Emily Armstrong can fucking bring it, guys. Mike Shinoda was better than ever. The whole band just sounded absolutely phenomenal. And the cool thing about Emily Armstrong, in my opinion, and I'll kind of leave this thought with you and see if you guys feel the same. You can comment in the section below. I thought Emily did a great job because she did not try to be Chester Bennington. She did her own thing. And her voice range, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, just right there, she can hit the notes that Chester hit, if not higher, but she also brought her own flavor. And I thought that was so important when you're not replacing, but you're filling in for someone like Chester Bennington. And, you have the fans that are already going to come with so much judgment. And she almost, in the face of all of that judgment, instead of being cocky and pulling off like an FU type performance, it felt like she embraced the crowd. And in return, the crowd embraced Emily. And it was one of those moments in rock and roll where you go, all right, this is what it's supposed to be. Because the rest of the band in Linkin Park, the vibes that I got, the feeling that I got off of that set, the way that they played with, the passion that they played with, those guys missed being on the road. They missed playing the music that they wrote along with Chester Bennington. And his unfortunate, untimely death derailed the entire band. So it was cool to see Mike Shinoda not only perform to his absolute peak abilities, all of the Linkin Park stuff, even threw a Fort Minor song in there too. So for all you fans out there that didn't just love Linkin Park, but love some of the side projects, they had a little bit of everything for everyone. Friday and Sunday were so absolutely amazing with Metallica. I mean, the whole weekend with Metallica, the gratitude that Metallica showed on stage for the crowd at Crew Stadium here in Columbus was second to none. I mean, these guys, you could tell, were so pumped to be able to headline 2 nights at Sonic Temple. And that's saying a lot for guys that are playing football stadiums 2 nights. I mean, they were just back home in Nashville for 2 nights at Nissan Stadium and absolutely killed. Everybody that I know that was at the show, a lot of my friends, said it was the best Metallica show they've ever seen. And I got to tell you, it was really cool. I mean, they played Straw, guys. That was a song that they haven't played in forever. They even went as far on Sunday night to pay some homage to the great people here at Ohio State University, and they played "Hang On Sloopy," and the entire crowd, OHIO. I mean, it was incredible, and just small things like that in Columbus go a long way. But the set lists were very different. You got a little bit more of an obscure set list on Friday night. I did hear some rumblings on Saturday morning from people that were, I'm not trying to cast stones or anything, but people you might call like fair weather fans that might not know the entire Metallica catalog that well. Oh, man, like, where are the hits, bro? Like, well, if you were looking for the hits, Sunday night, they brought it. I mean, just song after song after song. They played The Memory Remains, which was a big highlight for me. I thought that was so cool. And just the way that they transitioned from song to song, showing so much gratitude to the people that came out to see them. And, let's be honest, even the general admission tickets at Sonic Temple were not cheap. And, the lodging, if you came from out of town, whether you camped or got a hotel, not cheap. And Metallica, I think, made every single dollar, every single sacrifice absolutely worth it. And it just made for 4 nights of absolute mayhem. And it was bigger than ever. I kept looking around, and I would ask my buddies, and I even asked Danny Wimmer at one point. I go, dude, is it just me, or is there way more people here that have ever been at the temple before? And Danny's response was, dude, there's way more people than we've ever had. Over 200,000 people throughout the entire weekend. You're talking like 40 to 50,000 each day. It was fucking sick. I mean, it was a real just coming to metal meeting. Let's call it that. It was a coming to metal meeting, and everyone that was there, I think, really enjoyed themselves. I think the setup was even better than ever. The highlight of the weekend for me was Ice Nine Kills. I mean, this band gets better and better every single time I see them, and this time was no exception. So if you don't know Ice Nine Kills that well, one of the things about Ice Nine Kills is they're a metal band that is horror movie themed, meaning like a lot of their songs are written about horror movies. So on stage, they will reenact those scenes from the horror movies or scenes that they've come up with where basically every single song at the end, somebody gets murdered on stage. And it was like no exception this time around. Those guys, look for them to be headlining in the next 1 to 2 years. I'm telling you right now, they killed the Cathedral stage, which the Cathedral stage this year hosted some of the highlights for me. I mean, Hollywood Undead was absolutely sick over there. Bullet for My Valentine, who was on one of the second stages. Asking Alexandria was on the Cathedral stage. It was sick. I mean, Killswitch Engage. Some of these bands that are on the secondary stages, they take ownership and pride of that and just go out there and put on a show of a lifetime. But shout out to Ice Nine Kills. You stole my heart and you stole my Sonic Temple experience. And forever, I'll never, ever forget that performance. It was absolutely sick. You could tell something was up with Trivium when they hit the stage. There was a little bit of just turmoil going on. And they've been on the road with Bullet for My Valentine, and that was a sick tour. Both of them playing two of their classic albums together, and it was a unique experience for fans to be able to hear that when they're doing their tour together, the solo tour. Not so much at Sonic Temple, but it was announced midway through the Temple, though, and it kind of answered a lot of questions from what was happening on stage with Trivium. Yeah, there's something between the guys in Bullet for My Valentine and Trivium, because they have called it quits on their North American tour. They were supposed to tour together and play their two classic respective albums, and it's not going to happen. Now, there's some people that are saying it's manufactured drama. I don't think that's the case, but the guys from Trivium, for sure, on stage, Matt Healy was not happy. He was definitely not happy. And there's something, I think, as this story starts to progress and as more details come out, I'll give them to you as I get them. But if you were looking forward to that stop coming to your town, Trivium's going to come, and I hear that they're going to replace Bullet for My Valentine with somebody that you're going to absolutely love. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say at this point, but yeah, when you find out, you're definitely going to be stoked. Now, according to Danny Wimmer Presents, Sonic Temple was 99% sold out before the gates even opened. And that's what would explain the huge crowds starting on the first day on Thursday. And like I said, guys, when I walked in, you could absolutely feel it. And throughout the entire weekend, even the bands were like, yo, shout out to the biggest crowds that we've ever seen at this festival. And I think as we move forward throughout the loudest month in rock here in May, as we get to a Daytona next weekend and Rockville kicks off, I expect the same for all of these stops, leading into Incarceration, leading into Louder Than Life later on in the year. So if you haven't got your tickets for those festivals and secured your VIP or what would be the equivalent to like rock royalty at any of those festivals, I would do so like right away, because Danny Wimmer Presents and the entire crew, the season of 2025, they're absolutely bringing it. And these festivals, not only with the music, but with the experiences all around. They have this cool like makeshift dive bar that they built. And I thought that was really important because this was for general admission. So anybody and everybody could go into this. And when you walked in, you kind of felt like you were really at like a rock and roll dive bar. It was pretty cool, man. It was like you just walked off of the Sunset Strip and you were, boom, immersed into this cool rock and roll dive bar. Little details like that is what sets DWP aside from most other promoters. And if you've been to other festivals, I'm not going to name other festivals, but you know what I'm talking about. It's those differences that really set them aside and make it that the money you spend at Sonic Temple, which is a pretty penny, absolutely worth every single dollar. Now, I said coming up this weekend, we're going to get Welcome to Rockville, but also the Milwaukee Metal Fest. Jamie Josta, who was on the show with us talking all about that. If you missed the rundown for that, I'll leave it in the description below, and you guys can link back to that interview with Jamie Josta. But if you're in the Milwaukee area this weekend, Milwaukee Metal Fest, it's going to be absolutely sick. The return of Down. That's right, Phil fronting Down, taking a little break from Pantera, at least for this weekend, to just blow faces off of everyone at the Milwaukee Metal Festival in Milwaukee. It's been a long weekend. I'm absolutely exhausted. Shout out to everybody that I ran into, man. Fans that follow me back to the Blitz days, to now supporting this brand new venture here on the podcast, The Loper Show. Thank you so much to everybody who stopped. And I always tell you, if you see me in public, please stop and say hi. You know, we'll grab a picture, we'll have some conversation, whatever you want. But it really means a lot to me when you stop and you say hello, and I get to meet the people that actually support me day in and day out, week in and week out, and especially with this new venture here, the Loper Show, guys. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Like this video. It gives us a lot of standing with YouTube and kicks in that algorithm. It kicks it into low gear, and then we'll be into high gear. And then no one's stopping us, guys. We'll see you on the next episode, episode 25, coming your way. Thanks a lot. I'm Loper. We'll talk to you later.